Are you that person that has walked off the job before? You've told the job in not so many words, peace, deuces, I ain't coming back. Well, this video is for you. My name is Miss Sam. I am a business owner. I am a certified business and marketing education teacher. I have taught for 18 years, and I am going to talk to you today about why you should not walk off the job. If no one has ever told you that before. So I am the first person to tell you, you should not walk off the job. And in this video, I'm going to simply explain to you why. Let's just start off by saying, don't you ever, ever walk off from a job. You're the one that said that this was the job that you wanted to be able to use to pay your bills, go on vacation, whatever it is that you want to experience in life. This is what you said you wanted to do. But since you want to walk off the job, now you've inconvenienced others and put them in a situation that could be dangerous, not only for the person that you left, or for potentially maybe your other colleagues that you worked with. But to be quite honestly, if you walk off the job, you don't care about the job or the people who work there. So why did you sign up for the job to begin with? I really don't understand that. That's something I've never done. That's something I would never do. If you don't like a job, there are things that you can do to say, hey, I'm not happy right now. One of them is to speak with your manager or supervisor and inform them of what is going on or what happened. The other thing is to wait till your shift is over and to leave the job. Waiting until your shift is over means that you're going to take your lunch, you're going to do the duties that they've asked you to do, and then you're going to go home. But guess what? You get paid for full days of work. And when you leave a job in the middle of a shift, you're not getting paid. So don't leave a job. Like, you signed up for the job. Nobody just gave you the job. I'm confused on why you're walking off the job. What is it that's so bad that would convince you to walk off? And this is not your first day at the job. No one has been disrespectful to you. You picked the employer that you said you wanted to work with. No one said this is the job you're going to work for the rest of your life, or this is the job you're going to work today. You picked that job. We don't live in a society here in the United States that dictates what you will and will not do for the rest of your life. So because you're mad at your employer, your colleagues, and your employer doesn't have their stuff in order, that means that your colleagues should suffer. And if you're the only one that is dissatisfied, then you should not have signed up for that job. You need to pick something that's geared towards you and what you like and what you want to do. And part of that comes from figuring out what are the things that you like and what are the things that you don't like. Once you figure that out in life, you'll never walk off a job. You always look at jobs as, how is that going to help me with my career? And if you don't know what a career is, I'm going to put the definition of a career right over here. This is what a career is. And when you have a job, that leads you to your career. For example, if you want to work in the NICU with babies, or you want to work in labor and delivery as a nurse, it would be great to have a job while you're in college or nursing school with children, because that's who you want to work with. Specifically in the NICU or labor and delivery, you want to work in the infant room. You want to maintain a job working with infants. And if you're like, oh no, I don't want to work in an infant room at a child care center, then go work in a hospital as a STNA or a CNA, a certified nurse's assistant. But you need to have a job that is aligned with the field you want to work in. You shouldn't be at a bowling alley as a cashier and you want to be a nurse. You should be at a hospital doing some form of that job. I don't know what's going on in today's society, but our children are not listening to their teachers. They're listening to people online tell them that they can do this, they can do that. But in order to get there, there are steps that you must take. And those steps will align you with, and I shouldn't say align, but those steps will move you in the direction that will allow you to fulfill your career. Don't try to justify why you're walking off the job. You don't tell someone, I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back. You're not coming back. Not if your shift was from 6:30 to 3:30, or if your shift is from 8:30 to 5:30. That's not your goal. If you was coming back, you would have said, hey, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything? That's the polite thing to do. But don't walk off a job. Who does that? But then again, someone who has no direction, those are the behaviors that they do. If you are unhappy with a job, you speak with a manager or a supervisor and you finish your shift and you advise them, I will not be returning. It's nothing wrong. You an adult. That's what adults do. Adults have adult conversations. Children behave as children. They walk off the job, they cussing on the job, they drop trash on the job, they don't clean up behind themselves, they make a mess, it's still there. That's what little kids do because you have to train them to clean up behind themselves. But adults don't do that. They make a mess, they clean up the mess that they created, unless you used to living in confusion and mess. But that's not what you do. You pick a job that you're gonna like. So when you show up, you're there for the long haul, or you're there until the next opportunity presents itself. But if you do a good job on your job, other opportunities will present themselves. Someone may like your customer service, the way you interact with them at the job, and offer you a better job because it's a window of opportunity for you to showcase who you are, what type of character you have, what type of integrity you have. Customers, 20% of the customers that you see support 80% of a business. 20% of the customers that you see in any business, so these are the people you see all the time. You know their name. They're in there. They support 80% of the business. So 80% of the customers only support 20% of a business. That is actual business information. So those loyal customers know other people. Just like you know other people, they know other people as well. So when you come in and you're always friendly, you're always on time, you always have a pleasant attitude, those are desirable traits to open additional doors for you in other areas. So the moral of this story is, don't walk off the job. Talk to a manager or supervisor about your concerns. If they address your concerns, try it out again. If your concerns are not addressed, then you advise them, today is my last day, I won't be returning. And you have that right. If you don't want to talk to a manager or supervisor, go on your lunch, do the duties that they've assigned to you for today, come back, and you tell them, today's my last day. Thank you so much for having me. And you leave. That's it. It's not an argument. It's not a big conversation. Why you leaving? I don't want to share that. It's just, this is not the place for me. It's that simple. You stand your ground. But you don't continue to have a conversation with someone who you walked off the job with. You walked off the job. The fact that they're entertaining you is just nice. It's them being courteous. It's them being respectful. But it's nothing more than that. They cannot depend on you. They cannot trust that you would be a good employee, that you would follow through with your duties, that you would implement the vision and mission of the organization. They can't do that. Thank you for watching my video today. I ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this video, make sure you click on the thumbnail that says, "Are you a liar?" Have a great day.